In this lesson, we are replacing the door latch assembly on a Frigidaire FFCD2418US built-in dishwasher. The door latch is one of the most common failures on this platform. When it fails, your dishwasher will not start even if you press every button. The machine sees an open door and will not run a cycle. Common symptoms include the door will not click shut, the start button does nothing, or the door feels loose and does not stay closed on its own. Look up the correct replacement latch for your exact model and serial number from the manufacturer or a trusted parts supplier. Part numbers vary by revision and region. Always verify before ordering. Let's get into it.
Before we touch this machine, we follow lockout-tagout procedure. Unplug the dishwasher from the wall outlet or trip the dedicated circuit breaker. Tag it out so no one restores power while you are working. Here is what you need for this repair: a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a T20 Torx bit or driver, a flathead screwdriver, a small container to hold screws, and a clean rag or towel. That's it. No special tools required. This is an accessible repair that a qualified technician can complete in about 30 minutes. Remember, the machine stays unplugged for every step of this repair until we specifically say to restore power.
Let's confirm the latch is actually the problem before we take anything apart. Open the door and look at the latch hook. That is the plastic hook mounted at the top center of the door. Push and release it by hand. A good latch has a firm, spring-loaded snap. If it feels loose, sloppy, or does not spring back, it is worn out. Now look at the strike. That is the metal catch mounted inside the top of the tub opening. Check for visible cracks, chips, or deformation. Close the door slowly and feel for the click. A properly working latch has a definite engagement click. No click means no signal to the door switch, and the machine will not run. If the door closes but the machine still won't start, you may also have a failed door switch. We will test the switch with a multimeter in a later step. For now, confirm the mechanical latch is the first failure point. Open the door to the fully horizontal position. Lay it flat. This gives you full access to the inner door liner. You will see a row of screws running along the inside perimeter of the door, along the left side, right side, and bottom edge. These screws hold the inner door liner to the outer door panel. On the Frigidaire FFCD2418US, you're looking at Phillips head screws. Count them as you go. Typically 7 to 9 screws around the perimeter. Do not skip any. Leave the door in the flat open position for the entire disassembly. It is easier to work on and prevents the liner from dropping unexpectedly. Now remove the inner liner screws. Work around the perimeter, left side, right side, and bottom edge. Use your Phillips number 2 screwdriver. Turn counterclockwise to loosen. Place each screw in your small container as you go. Do not let them roll into the tub. On some units, you will also find 1 or 2 screws along the top edge, near where the control panel meets the door. Check carefully. A missed screw will prevent the liner from lifting cleanly, and you may crack the panel. Once all screws are out, do not lift yet. The liner is still retained by plastic clips along the top edge. We will address those next.
With all screws removed, grip the inner liner along the bottom edge with both hands. Lift the liner straight up. It slides up and off the outer door panel. You may feel light resistance from the plastic retaining clips at the top. A firm, steady upward lift releases them. Do not pry or force. Once the liner is free, fold it upward and away from the outer panel. You will see the latch assembly mounted at the top center of the outer door panel. That is your target. The wiring harness connecting the latch to the door switch will still be attached. Do not yank the liner away. Give yourself slack and set it aside carefully.
Locate the wiring harness connector on the latch assembly. It is a small plastic connector.
typically 2 or 3 wires, plug directly into the door switch portion of the latch. Squeeze the locking tab on the connector and pull straight off. Do not pull on the wires themselves. Always grip the connector body. Once disconnected, take a quick photo with your phone of the harness routing and connector orientation. This makes reassembly faster and eliminates guesswork. Set the wiring harness aside. It stays attached to the machine. The latch is now electrically free.
The latch assembly is held to the outer door panel by 2 or 3 mounting screws, typically Phillips head on this model. Access them from the front face of the outer door panel, at the top center. Remove each screw counterclockwise and collect them separately from your liner screws. They are a different size. With the screws out, slide the latch assembly forward and out of its mounting bracket. It may require a slight downward angle to clear the bracket tabs. Work it out gently without forcing. The old latch is now fully removed. Set it aside.
The machine is still unplugged. The LOT tag is still on the cord. Do not touch that plug until every panel is back on and we tell you to restore power. This test is done completely de-energized. Before you trust any reading from your multimeter, do a quick meter check. Touch the 2 probes together. A working meter in continuity mode beeps immediately and reads near 0 ohms. If it does not beep, the meter is off, on the wrong setting, or has a dead battery. Fix that before you test anything. A bad reading from a bad meter wastes your time and gets you to the wrong answer. Now the correct sequence. You are here because the latch assembly is already exposed and the harness connector is already unplugged from the door switch terminals. That disconnect happened back in step 4, before any of the disassembly. The harness is disconnected, the unit is open. That is the only state in which this test is physically possible. You cannot test a switch through a closed connector. If your harness is still plugged in, stop, go back, and disconnect it first. Set your meter to continuity mode. Place 1 probe on each of the 2 switch terminals, the bare spade terminals on the switch body, not the wire side. Now here is the core of what you are testing. A good switch changes its reading depending on whether the latch is engaged or not. That change is the whole point. Test 1, latch not engaged. Hold the door open or hold the latch hook away from the switch actuator. Meter should show open circuit, no beep, OL on the display, infinite resistance. The switch is open, that is correct. Test 2, latch engaged. Reach in and press the latch actuator or close the door slowly until the latch hook drives the plunger home. Meter should immediately beep and show continuity, near 0 ohms. The switch closed, that is correct. Now release the latch and watch the meter go back to open. That change, open to closed to open, is a good switch. The reading must change between the 2 states. A bad switch does not change. If the meter reads open in both positions, the switch is stuck open and will never tell the control board the door is closed. If the meter reads continuity in both positions, the switch is stuck closed. The door interlock is bypassed, and that is a safety problem. Replace it immediately. Either way, no change between states means replace the switch. Only qualified personnel should perform live voltage tests.
Before you install the new latch, compare the old one to the new one side by side. On the failed latch, look for these 3 signatures. First, a cracked or broken latch hook, the plastic hook that engages the strike. Second, a weak or missing spring. If the hook does not snap back firmly, the spring is done. Third, a worn cam surface. The ramp that the hook rides on gets grooved over time and loses its hold. Compare the mounting hole pattern, the connector location, and the overall profile to confirm the new latch is the correct replacement for your specific unit. If anything does not match, stop and verify the part number against your model and serial number before proceeding. Slide the new latch assembly into the mounting bracket at the top center of the outer door panel. Angle it in the same way you removed the old one. Align the mounting holes. Hand start all screws before tightening any of them. This ensures the latch seats square in the bracket. Once all screws are hand-tight, snug them down with your Phillips driver. Do not over-tighten. The housing is plastic and the threads strip easily. Firm is enough. Give the latch hook a push and release test right now. You should feel a crisp, spring-loaded snap. If it feels stiff or sluggish, back the screws off slightly and reseat the assembly. Reconnect the wiring harness to the door switch on the new latch assembly. Orient the connector to match the tab direction. It only goes in one way. Press it straight on until you feel and hear a positive click. Give it a firm tug to confirm it is locked. A connector that pulls off easily is not seated. Route the harness wire back into its clip or channel so it is clear of any moving parts. A pinched or kinked harness will cause an intermittent door switch fault and may send you chasing an electrical problem that does not exist. Double-check the connection one more time before closing up. Pick up the inner door liner and position it above the outer door panel. Align the top edge clips with the slots at the top of the outer panel. Lower the liner straight down. The top clips engage first. Then the liner drops flush against the outer panel. You should feel the clips snap into place. Do not force the liner. If it resists, check that the wiring harness is routed clear and not getting pinched between the liner and the panel. A pinched harness will prevent the liner from seating flat. Once the liner sits flush all the way around, you are ready to reinstall the screws. Reinstall all inner liner screws. Work in the reverse order you removed them. Typically top edge first, then left side, right side, and bottom edge. Hand start each screw before tightening. This prevents cross-threading in the plastic liner. Snug them down with your Phillips driver. Again, firm, not torqued. You are threading into plastic. Once all screws are in, run your finger around the door perimeter and confirm the liner sits flush against the outer panel with no gaps or lifted sections. Count your screws to make sure every one went back in. If you have screws left over, find where they go before closing the machine. With the door fully reassembled, stand in front of the machine and close the door slowly. Listen for a firm, positive click as the latch hook engages the strike. You should feel the door pull slightly inward as it seats. That is the latch doing its job. Open and close the door 5 times. Every close should produce the same clean click. If the engagement feels inconsistent, sometimes clicking, sometimes not, the strike alignment may be slightly off. Check that the tub strike has not shifted. Pull the door handle firmly after closing. A properly latched door will not open without pressing the handle. If the door releases with light pressure alone, the latch is not holding. The continuity test passed. Time to restore power. Remove the LOTO lockout tag from the power cord. Stand to the side, not directly in front of the machine, and plug the cord back into the wall outlet. The control panel should light up. Select a short cycle, a quick wash, or a rinse only, and press Start. Close the door firmly. You should hear the latch click, and the machine should begin its cycle immediately. The sound of water filling the tub confirms the door switch signal was received and the machine is running. Watch the door for the first 30 seconds. Confirm the latch is holding under cycle pressure and no water is leaking from the door seal. A few pro tips to extend the life of the new latch and avoid a repeat call. First, do not slam the door. Repeated hard slams fatigue the plastic hook faster than normal wear. Teach the customer to close it with a firm push, not a bang. Second, check the door gasket while you have the machine open. A worn or torn gasket increases the force required to achieve a seal, which overloads the latch every cycle. Third, inspect the tub strike annually. A bent or misaligned strike will chew through a new latch quickly. Takes 30 seconds to check with a straight edge. Fourth, if this is a repeat latch failure on the same machine, check the installation level. A dishwasher that is not level puts uneven stress on the door and latch with every cycle. The door latch replacement is complete. The Frigidaire FFCD2418US is back in service. For reference materials used in this lesson, consult the Frigidaire official product support page at frigidaire.com/support. The OSHA standard for lockout-tagout 29 CFR 1910.147 and NFPA 70E, electrical safety in the workplace. As always, look up the correct replacement part for your specific model and serial number. Do not rely on a generic part number from a video. Verify with a manufacturer or a trusted parts supplier every time. This has been Appliance Repair Academy. Visit us at appliancerepairacademy.org and download the app on iOS and Android to take your training on the road. Welcome to Appliance Repair Academy, the training program built by working technicians for working technicians. At Appliance Repair Academy, we cover everything from washers and dryers to refrigerators, dishwashers, ranges, and microwaves. Step by step, hands-on, no fluff. Need a diagnostic tool in the field? Download Appliance Repair AI, available right now on iOS and Android. Troubleshoot faster, right from your phone. Visit us at appliancerepairacademy.org to enroll today. Your career in appliance repair starts here.